So for this little strange little exercise that will help free up your shoulders and your neck, you need a book. So I've got a magazine here, quite an interesting one on Italy. Just something I could picked up on this little table. But you could have something a bit heavier if you wanted to, but nothing, not a really thick book. You don't want to hunch your shoulder up, but that's something enough that's going to place on your hand. So you're going to come and sit on your chair. Before we sort out the book, so put the book down for a moment, sit towards the front of your chair, feet on the floor, and a gap between the knees so your knees aren't falling together. And just practice what we did in the first couple of lessons, where we just rolled the pelvis back and the chin goes down. So you feel as if you're back slumping into the back of the chair, and then you're coming forward. So you're rolling on the front of those sit bones, and the chest bone lifts slightly. You might increase the space between your chin and your chest. Just do a few of those. It doesn't have to be a big movement, just so you can just feel the rolling of the sit bones. You like to imagine if they're wheels and they're rolling backwards and forwards. That's quite a nice little image to have in your head. And then as you come back to the middle, just look over one shoulder and then the other shoulder. And you might find that one shoulder to look over is easier than the other. You might notice that I find it easier to look over this shoulder than that one, my left one. Okay, so pick up the book, place it on your hand, and you're going to put your elbow in towards your ribs, but not jam it in. So there's no tightness, no tension. Think more comfort and ease. Let's pull that up a little bit. There we go. So you want an angle from the elbow to the hand that's straight, as if I was drawing a line with a ruler. So you haven't closed that gap. So it's a nice angle here. So you don't want to open up the book or close it like that. So it's just lying out on your hand. So if I sit to the side, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So don't jam it in, nice and easy by your ribs here. So this isn't going to change position. This is going to stay where it is for now. There are different options that we could work through, but that's for different classes and lessons. So just with your shoulder, you're going to bring your shoulder forward and then take it back to where it was. So just your shoulder comes forward and then back to where it was. Nothing changes here with the elbow or the book. So you think that you're using your book just to keep the hand nice and still and steady. So this part of your arm is not moving. It's just the shoulder coming forwards and backwards like that. So tiny movement. I might be making this movement a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So very minimal effort. So you're not holding your breath or clenching your jaw. I'll come to the front. You can just see a slow closing in and then opening. It's hardly anything at all. And then you're going to hold it in the middle, and then you're going to take the shoulder back and then bring it back to where you were, where you started. Back and here. Nothing is changing at this angle. It's staying the same. The book is staying the same. And if you get tired, if the book's too heavy, you can change it for another book, something lighter, or if it's too light, you could have something heavier. But we're not looking at trying to hold a weight here. We're not weight training. We're just working with improving movement and fluidity in our shoulder. Okay, come and rest. Put the book down. Get your arm rest down by your side. And just notice any difference in the right and the left side. I can just see by looking at the camera that my shoulder is a little bit more relaxed than this side. Then we can change, see what we can change here. So you could bring that elbow forward slightly, just bringing the elbow slightly forward, and then you can start to roll the pelvis back and roll the pelvis forward like we did in the beginning. I'm just showing you from the side there so you can see what I'm doing. So if you're slumping in the chair and bringing it forward, so the elbow stays by your ribs. It's just a little bit further forward. It was back here, but it's just slightly forward. Just a slight movement. And then you can bring that elbow back. So it's slightly behind you, but still in by your ribs, but you're not hunching your shoulder, rolling through the pelvis. And then put the book down. You see, you don't have to do many reps at all. Let that arm rest down by your side. And you can probably see that it's even more relaxed now. And then if you let your hand rest on your lap, do a couple of rolling through the pelvis without the book and see if that feels Any different? I can feel there's a lot more freedom. And then look over your shoulder. So this was the trickier side for me just when I started, and now I can look right over at that picture behind me. And this side now feels a lot more difficult to look over than this side. So should we have a go at the other side? See what it feels like on the other side. So elbow in by your side without clenching, and just do a little forward movement or motion, the word I was looking for, with that gentle bit of your shoulder. Do you see that we're not talking about the usual thing of what we do with when we talk about relaxing shoulders? We're not pulling them down, we're not pushing them together, we're not even thinking about the shoulder blades. We're just doing this gentle forward and back to where we started. So we can do even less on this side. So then we go back, come to the middle, go back away slightly as if we're opening up a little bit of space. Here the elbow arm got a little bit too high up there, so we've got this lovely angle here. Just back slightly. So a little bird hopping around outside. And then put the book down, come back to your middle, let the arm rest. And then take the book back. I mean, at this point, we don't have to do any more if you don't want to. So let's see what the movement is like when we turn. So already it feels a little bit more open, much more freedom in this side. So if you didn't want to do any more, if you're happy with that, that's totally fine. You don't have to do any more. See, less is more when we're doing these exercises because we're calming down the nervous system. And when the nervous system's happy, it grants you this freedom of movement rather than tensing everything up. But if you want to do the next bit, we can do that. So elbow in by your side, have this angle with your elbow so it's not up here. You haven't closed that joint or opened it too much. Got this right angle. And then we're going to bring the book slightly forward and we're just going to roll down through the pelvis. So I'm just showing you from the side. As if you're slumping in the chair and coming back up. This is flexion and extension. So a movement that we do all the time that we've done since we were babies. Even we practiced this movement when we were in the womb. So it's a primitive movement, but one that we forget how to do as we get older. We get stuck. And then we can continue to do that movement, but the elbow goes back slightly. So I'll show you from the side. Just gently rolling through and coming back up. If you haven't gone back too far, it's just a little bit. You've got that space between the knees, the feet are flat on the floor. Relax your jaw. And then put the book down. Rest your arm. Notice how that feels. And then turn. See how that feels on that side. Simplicity. That's why I like these movements. They're so simple. You get an instant result and it feels lovely. And then just do some rolling without the book and notice how that feels. And you might notice that one side felt nicer than the other side. One side might feel more easier or more trickier, more restricted. And then when you feel ready to do so, you can stand up, see how you feel as you walk around the room. Have a little play with that throughout your day. So if you just had time to do one side and you didn't want to do the other side, that's totally fine. You have something in your brain that kind of works out that you've just done one side and it talks to the other side. So they kind of sort themselves out. So you're seeing some of the lessons, I only teach one side and I don't do the other side because you don't have to, because the brain will just do that. It will sort it out for you. So, and if you don't have time to actually do this exercise, you can, if you're sitting there watching TV or if you're in the office or if you're too busy doing something, you don't have time to sit here and watch a video, you can imagine that you're doing it and just imagining that you're moving and you still get some results from your imagination as well. Thanks for watching and thanks for playing.